Have you noticed how some brands, posters, and even movie scenes feel instantly elegant, calm, or premium, even when they use very little color? The effect often comes from monochromatic color palette, which is built from one base hue and its shades, tints, and the tones. Okay, a monochromatic palette does not mean no color. It means one color family is being used in a controlled way, so the design feels unified instead of visually noisy. For example, if the base color is blue, the designer may use soft blue for the background, navy for the headings, and a deeper shade for buttons or emphasis. That gives the eye a clear path to follow, which is the one reason the style feels so clean and professional. Research on color preference shows that people respond not just to the color itself, but also to how the colors are arranged in a palette. A balanced palette with controlled variation tends to feel more harmonious and pleasing. There is also a research showing that office interiors with different monochromatic color treatments can affect mood and even task performance. In one study with 675 participants, white office led to more proofreading errors than blue and red office, showing that a color environment can influence how people work and feel. You can see monochromatic thinking in luxury branding, minimalist websites, and fashion campaigns. Brands in premium and minimalist spaces often use restrained palettes because they want the product texture and typography to stand out more than the colors itself. In film and visual storytelling, monochromatic styling is often used to set mood. For example, dark blue, gray, or sepia-heavy scene can signal tension, nostalgia, or seriousness, while softer single color looks can suggest calm or reflection. That's why monochromatic visuals show up so often in posters, dramatic scenes, and stylized promotional materials. Design trend reports and gallery platforms show strong interest in monochromatic scheme across UI, branding, fashion, and product designs. This trend fits the broader movement towards minimalism, where brands try to communicate faster, cleaner, and with less visual distraction. In one recent educational material experiment, the polychromatic material scored highest for memory recall, but monochromatic and achromatic formats still played a meaningful role in comparing how color affects the learning. That basically tells us color choices are not just aesthetic. They influence attention, memory, and how information is processed. So monochromatic palettes work especially well in branding and identity systems, product packaging, fashion and editorial designs, portfolio website, minimal UI dashboards, presentation designs. They work because the visual message stays focused. Instead of competing colors, you get clear hierarchy, smoother transition, and a more polished look. But monochromatic design can also fail if it becomes too flat or lacks the contrast. If everything is too close in tone, the audience may struggle to read the content or notice the most important element. So the real skill is not just choosing one color, it is controlling variations inside the color family. That means balancing lightness, saturation, spacing, and typography. If you want to create a strong monochromatic system, follow these rules, okay? So first, pick one base color that matches your brand mood, then create lighter and darker versions of it. Use contrast carefully for readability. Add one accent only if the design needs extra focus. Test it in real use case, not just on the color wheel, okay? So this will give you a more better picture. So monochromatic design is not about doing less. It is about doing one thing with more control, more clarity, and with more intention. And that is why it continues to show up in modern branding, film aesthetics, digital products, and premium visual storytelling also. Sometimes people think designs needs every color in the box, but honestly, that's how a layout ends up looking like a festival poster and a supermarket sales ad had a baby. So monochromatic design is like a disciplined office. Everyone is wearing the same dress code, but somehow the place look more impressive and elegant. So basically, one color family can still do a lot of work. It's not boring, it's just well managed. Think about it.